First Fort Wayne Seventh Adventist youth group. That's us over there, really annoying. We are from the Indiana Conference. My name is Tori. I am studying a business at Purdue Fort Wayne, and I lead out with planning big events for our youth group.
My name is Jodi. I study occupational therapy at Huntington University in Indiana, and I am the leader for our Friday night Vespers youth group.
Yes.
For our youth group.
Yes.
And let's see. So we're going to talk a little bit about what our youth group has been doing the past couple years. And so this is our youth group.
That's us.
It hadn't always looked like this, and we'll talk a little bit about who we used to be and how we got this far.
Yes.
So our talk today is...
The theme is ministry comes in different forms.
So where did it all begin? It started a few years ago, maybe a little before that. We were kind of just a small friend group of youth. It was about maybe 7 to no more than 15, maybe 11 of us. It was a smaller...
Unstructured, unorganized.
We didn't really have things planned. We met every Friday night.
Yes.
And we kind of just met to hang out, maybe do a little music or Bible discussion, but we didn't really have any plans for what that was.
And then we were invited to the LUC conference 2 years ago. We saw the flyer and an opportunity for all of us to hang out and worship. And then we saw that we could get funding opportunities for our ministry, and that really got us thinking. We were like, what can we do? So we came home after listening to all the talks, the discussions, the inspirations that people had, and we were really thinking.
And I guess you could say that a fire was lit under all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We all kind of felt like we wanted to do something about it. We wanted to reach out to our youth, and we wanted to reach out to our community. But what we realized was that we actually had different ideas for ministry events. It was maybe 11 of us attended the last LUC, but some of us wanted to do one thing over the other.
Yes, some of us wanted to move and do more, and others wanted to fix what we had.
So I personally wanted to stick with what we had. I mentioned earlier that we did Vespers, or I guess we couldn't even call it Vespers because we kind of just got together. I wanted to make our Friday nights more intentional. I wanted to bring it more structure, and I wanted to start inviting more people to our Friday night events so that we could have a Vespers. And I knew that there were some youth in our church that could benefit from attending a Friday night Vespers. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on.
I love the idea of all of us getting together, big groups, reaching out to our community, bringing them in, bringing our community all together, working with everybody around. And I just kind of wanted a big place for all of us to hang out and worship.
So we realized that the difference between having small groups and big groups kind of led to a group conflict because we didn't know what to prioritize. Yeah. We thought that with the money, we could only do one thing because it was a big event versus small event. So we talked about it, we got together, we prayed with our youth leaders, we prayed with our church leaders, and
we sat down and kind of talked about what we felt, like kind of what was affecting us and kind of like the different things in that way. And our pastors helped us through a lot of that, and we came up with a solution that would benefit everyone and their gifts, because our entire group has a lot of talents and passions, and we decided to bring us all together, get more people involved so that they would feel included. We came up with committees.
So we delegated roles. We have maybe 6 or 7 committees. Yeah. We have one for the small groups that I wanted. We have one for the big groups that Tori wanted. We were also able to start a band, so we have a committee that coordinates music and forming bands and practicing. We have someone who does social media, so is in charge of posting and promoting our events. We also have outreach that specifically looks at ways we can get into the community and help the community, and even reach out to our church members and help with InReach as well. I think
we have children's church.
We have children's church.
One of our other ones.
So we planned church services for children in our church to attend. So it was a lot, and we delegated roles. We chose leaders for each committee, and whoever else in the youth group wanted to get involved, we gave them the opportunity to come join the committees. So it kind of got everyone involved, and gave everyone a chance to participate. So we just told you a lot of information, and it was a lot of work. It really was, and it was a lot.
Yeah, it was. Why should you do this? Why are we telling you this? We learned so much. I mean, we learned like life skills, and I honestly could say that these are some of the things that I could put on a resume. I learned how to manage, I learned how to plan, I learned how to organize, how to put things together. I learned how to compromise. I learned how to handle conflict. I learned how to look to God when I was struggling, and I learned how to change my perspective.
I also learned very similar things. I learned how to be more open-minded to receiving feedback. I learned how to give feedback. In leadership roles, you learn how to communicate a lot with your team. I also learned how to reach out and just invite people that I don't usually talk to.
It's hard.
Yeah, it was really hard. It's kind of awkward too, to be completely honest. But as a result of these committees and the events that we planned, we said initially that we were maybe a group of 11, 7 to 11.
Hardcore.
Yeah, it's different every time.
Yeah.
But our last Friday night Vespers, we had almost 25 people. Mm-hmm. We met in a home, and the room was just packed. We couldn't find enough seats, and believe it or not,
had a couple baptisms. Yeah.
Believe it or not, at the Vespers, we also had a mix of people who weren't Adventist either. We invited our friends from work, and we even had friends from church come. So it was a little bit of a mix. And you said,
as baptisms, we have one currently going through baptismal studies as we speak.
And we've had 2 baptisms, or I guess 1 planned, and someone else from our youth group got baptized as a result of our efforts to reach out in our own church. But this is kind of it all goes to say that we learned a lot. But I think the biggest common thing that we both learned was that Jesus ministered in both big and small groups, and that both are very essential and just are both effective in reaching both in the community and in our own church.
He preached to the 5,000, we all know that story, and he built personal relationships, and he visited homes.
In 1 Corinthians 12, Paul talks about how important organization is in a church and the importance of structure. We learned that very well putting together these committees. And he also, in the same chapter, talks about the human body and how the church is like a human body with different parts and that are all essential to making the body work. Similarly, our committees were the different parts of our youth group body, and they all kind of work together and are all essential parts of making the body work, which is reaching out to our community and the youth in our community through youth ministry. And I have a verse to close that there are different kinds of service, but we all serve the same Lord, is the biggest thing that we've learned this entire couple of years we've been doing this.
So how did we do it? Come to our breakout session. We're not going to tell you right now. Come to our breakout session. We have documents, resources. We have QR codes. We have all of our youth group. Say hi over there. They're going to be presenting and doing all of the showing of what we did and pictures and proof. So come to our breakout session.
You'll get to meet each of us individually. If you guys have questions, or if you need advice, or if you just want to share with us what you guys are doing in your youth group, we'd love to hear from you guys as well.
Yes, it's at 5:15
in Linden Room 1 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's us.
We can show you guys how we got here. You can develop this in your own youth group, or you can grow it if you already have one. So yeah, we hope to see you guys. Can't wait to talk with you guys. Thank you.